Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the next Battlefield 2 Modern Combat Remake update. I'm joined in-game in the next build with Epix. How's it going, Epix?
Going well. I'm ready to discuss this.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's been quite a while. So yeah, I did want to start out by firstly apologizing to you, because in our last video we talked about, if you remember, the bridge back here. There was a bridge in Bridge Too Far that was destructible, and
Oh yes.
yeah, so since that video, I mean, at the time I was kind of like, oh yeah, yeah, I think there was a bridge that was destructible, but like I was like, there's no way there was a bridge that was destructible. There couldn't have been, because I don't remember it. And I genuinely thought it was like, did you ever hear of like the Mandela effect, where like people remember things that just didn't happen, like collectively remember things? Because a couple of other people actually said, yeah, they remembered this bridge that was destructible, but we've since went through, like I'll throw up a couple of images on screen here. I don't know if you can see them in your Discord.
Yeah, I get it.
So yep. I posted these on the I couldn't believe it. Like I was looking through old footage like to recreate some of these maps and stuff, and like there it was, like this broken bridge in the background. But then I thought like, oh yeah, well that little bridge there was like destroyed as well, and it wasn't destructible in the game. But then like later on I was going through other pictures and I found an image of that bridge that was actually intact, which is like, I've never seen it exploded before. Yeah. I just couldn't believe that was actually.
It was a weird thing, because I swear it was the only thing you could blow up.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't know why.
They clearly had plans like to make more stuff destructible, because it's in such an odd place that like you'd never really walk across that bridge, you know.
Right.
And that's kind of partly why I thought like that just it's not the case. But I think you posted up this video as well, and I'll throw this up. This like some.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like beta footage or something, and it actually shows.
Yeah, I think someone said it was for the PSP port that they were planning on making.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
So, and I know this was part of the one video you had made a long time ago too, that had graphics that looked like this.
Yeah, they had screenshots. They actually had screenshots of them on that bridge. There's so like it's actually a set piece.
Yeah,
they go out of their way to show like how it's destructible. Yeah, you can tell this is demo, but because there's like a boat and stuff, just showing off the different vehicles. But yeah, so yeah, you were right. I have to apologize about that, because I just didn't believe it at the time. But we're gonna have to make that a feature in the remake at some point.
For sure.
So here we are in game, and you know, let's. I think this is the first time that we actually have textures on in a release build. So which I've since updated a little bit, and there's like a lot of work that needs done. But maybe you could take us through some of the changes with the engine and things like that since last time.
Yeah. So this is essentially it's a full rebuild. And the main reason was because if you played the other one, was laggy. It was a lot of disconnected elements all trying to melt together that well. So I decided to start over, try to do everything clean as possible, so future updates would be easier, and try to make that more modular. So like the team system is not hard coded anymore, so technically you can have an unlimited amount of teams. It's not really the reason I did it, but part of it, where I can interchange teams, and when I make new maps is where that'll come into handy. Like, oh, it's this team and this team, and boom, the level's set up. You know, it knows what teams have what variables and kits and all that stuff. Yeah. So, and those could be interchanged. So that was the main thing, and then a lot of it was HUD related, trying to get the options for the player to change and make everything work a little better. And as you see on your end, if you go to the options thing, you have a host menu, which users can peruse at their own time and just see like all the features in there and mess around with them. Some of them are there just for fun or to like get around the map, because there's no cars yet. There's vehicles built, so some of them are built to help explore. Yeah. As far as weapons, oh sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say we briefly talked before about how like we could essentially lock some of this off for like if we were going to do like a classic game type where
Yeah.
it's as close to the original as we can, but then the option's always there for people to tweak it if they want to do like a custom match.
Yeah. So and to Jim's point of like in the future, you'll be able to say, "Oh, I want the classic game," and yeah, those won't be available. Or if you do check them on, when it goes to upload the stats, it'll be marked as a custom game, and it won't count towards the same
Yeah.
scores and all that. That's all being worked on. We're going to do future videos on some of the back end stuff. So as you can see too, some of the updates just as far as the engine goes, the skybox is a little different. It's sort of default, so I still have tweaking to do on that, but that uses true sky.
Yeah.
Same with the water. So there's
Yeah, I was
actually
going to say,
volumetric
so like
water.
I've modeled water in Blender, but like I always kind of knew that I'd have to just turn that off because any in-game water is going to be far better than what I could do in Blender and wouldn't really work anyway. So
Yeah, and as far as this water goes, I just put a plane here that allows you to walk on it because I
yeah.
didn't want to do swimming just yet. And of course, our game just ended. But okay.
So yeah, so our game ended there, but so you were saying there's a plane under here so we can just walk on it.
Yeah, so there's a plane under here, so there's no swimming implemented, but I wanted you to be able to go into the water. So there's just a plane that allows you to walk. Eventually, you'll be able to swim.
Yeah, I suppose
Okay.
the alternative would be like during this early stage, if you fell into the water, you'd have to commit suicide, really.
Yeah, because you wouldn't float, and I'd either have to you'd have to have these stairs go down forever, or some sort of teleport mechanism at the bottom.
Yeah.
So this was really just just to get it out there and make sure everything works, because otherwise you're committing suicide each time.
Yeah.
So where are they? So I got new character models as well, and I think these look actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The Chinese texturing, which on the American side here, but I basically took this one and colored it blue. But as far as the packs go, you'll see that the assault guy looks a little different than the sniper, than SMG, and there's a little bit of customization that goes on there as far as the backpacks, vest, stuff like that. So I think that looks pretty good. Each kit has a weapon that is specific to that kit. So like the support, which I am right now, has the heavy machine gun. The assault has I actually have the M4 and the QBZ 95.
Looks like a FAMAS, but
yeah, it's the Chinese assault rifle. So that's actually it's close to a FAMAS, but at least it looks like it. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have those, and then I have an SMG, which is just an MP5, which is both on Chinese and American right now. I have a sniper rifle, which is the Chinese sniper rifle. Again, that's on the American and Chinese side. And I think, and then I have a shotgun. I have the Spaz, the Mossberg 500, which is different because technically the Chinese don't use that, but it was close enough. But I actually have all of the settings tweaked so that it's close to what the original game was. So the support kit shoots, there's 100 bullets, and it shoots roughly the same speed. The assault's a little faster, SMG's faster, and I matched those damages to what guide has that is looking. Reloads and all those things should be pretty close. And again, feel free to say, hey, this is off. But all the kits to there, all of that works more or less.
It's one of those things that's just always going to be tweaked anyway, like you'll get, I mean, even probably whenever we're fully done with the game, people will be like, oh, this gun's overpowered, this is like, and then it'll just be always like people
because I wasn't sure. Like a good example of that is the Spaz. I mean, if you look through the guide, Spaz says it does light to medium damage, and the Mossberg 500 does light heavy damage. It's like, well, okay, what defines that? So the way I tweaked it, it's just the way I did it, is the Spaz shoots a little bit faster, but the spread is further. So I think it's like 12-degree spread, whereas the 500, I think 10 or an 8, something like that. So that's how I was like, okay, here's my best guess. So yeah, once people play through and go like, hey, this Spaz is overpowered, like it's
Oh yeah, that's
or
it. You know that you'll never really tweak that until people are actually like playing it day in and day out. You
exactly.
know, that's whenever you'll hear those kind of changes. But to me, like just that, you know, when you're on the shotguns, like I always found that like the automatic shotgun was like, even if you were up close, it still always felt like it took like 2 shots to kill someone. Whereas
Yeah,
if you're up close with the other one, it would almost always uh, it'd be like one hit kill. But it's that is going
yeah.
to be a
So
really hard thing to get exactly right. But yeah, it's probably, as you said, it's probably something to do with the spread and the fire rate and damage.
yeah, that was
Just
just my best guess. So we'll play around with that. But
yeah,
then as far as that goes, I mean that's these models. I didn't do these models, but there's a few more models I have, and I'm going to update the kits. You know, as we go along, keep adding those weapons in, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But yeah, the capture the flag and then shooting is really the only other thing to talk about.
yeah. You
You
can.
want to
So
go ahead?
now we can pick up the flag and then the flag itself's animated.
Yeah. So actually, if we go over here, oh yeah. So yeah, I got the flag animated. If we'll go to the American side, maybe.
And
But
the rigging of your models, did that come rigged, or where did you get the rigging for
yeah,
that?
these
Or
actually were these were on the Unreal Engine marketplace. I'd never even seen them before, but yeah, these came rigged and everything, so like they work pretty good.
yeah,
And they look more or less as they work pretty good. The issue with the guns and the arms, I'd like to maybe take seconds to explain that. So for guns, I have a single set of animations now. I plan on doing animations later, or someone else doing animations later. But since I only have one set, it works for one gun, right? It works for like an M. It looks good. For the rest of these, like if you look at that gun that you're holding, the gun is so much further forward than
yeah,
like a normal gun. So what I did is I have a whole IK setup that moves the hands to fit those locations, and that's why the animations look sort of a little goofy when you move around and jump and look up and down. So eventually those will all be their own animations, but that's why those don't even affect, because I'm basically telling it, hey, put your right hand here and your left hand here, and it's sort of trying to figure out where that.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean it's good enough for I think we're doing looks I think even fast. That's all I got. This one does have an update system that we'll go over in another video. So I plan on doing semi-annually
Yeah, yeah,
updates,
yeah.
at least a little more than a year. And I apologize about that, everybody. But
Well,
I think that
you had a lot going on,
true
and
pandemic and yeah, all of that. Got married, having a kid, moving out of the house.
yeah,
There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So, and I
um,
know everyone's
and the pandemic,
got
just to throw in the mix.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I hope we're both hopeful that updates will be more regular rather than just like taking long times in between.
Yeah,
Um,
and one of the other things too that I'd like to update or just talk about is eventually in the pause menu, I will have a thing that will allow you to submit a report or a request or like a screenshot almost. So that'll be coming up soon too. So there'll be a
yeah,
lot of other little features that are added in as far as like the development side that I think will speed this up, and it won't just be me going like, "Hey," or Jim going, "I think this shipping container was here." Or, no, it was here. You know what I mean?
oh my
We're all
god,
kind of relying on really you at this point. I have not positioned a single thing. I think I put like 2 boxes down. I was like, I think those go here, but I already know I'm wrong. So
I
we
spent a
yeah,
ridiculous amount of time, nights upon nights, going through footage to try and get every angle that I could possibly get to get my head around where this stuff goes. And yeah, it can be painful at times.
yeah. So
Um,
I mean, I think that's all I have as far as this goes. I don't know if you want to talk about some of the little quick updates you made. Maybe talk
I
or
think I think I'll maybe make like a separate texturing video, but we should maybe just like tell people where to actually get the.
oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so
So if
I'll
you remember, go ahead.
Do you want me to open up the website, or do you want?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and.
Yeah, I'll open up on my screen so everyone can see, and then if you wanna, you can probably see it on your Discord. You want to talk it through?
Yeah. So the website is generic field. We'll post it in the Discord. It's genericfield2.com. I had to get a free web hosting because I'm cheap. So that's what this 000 web host thing is. And this orange button you see, that's the download that'll bring you to Google Drive link, and it's about a 600 megabyte file. So it's not small, but that part where the updates come in and make the updating process a little easier, hopefully. So, but yep, this is ready to go. So you just remember you have to have Steam running to connect to other games. You have to be logged into Steam.
Yeah, and the plan going forward would be that that once there'll be a system implemented that you only have to do a small update each time just to update the code. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and you'll notice it right when you open the game. It's got a whole menu, and I'm kind of excited when we first get something out that'll like, oh hey, they actually kind of work. So we'll see. It'll be kind of a community effort here that we test out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the code, I've separated the code from the models. So if I update, let's say, oh, it says it does, the kill feed's all wrong. I can update the kill feed, and that's a 2 megabyte file because it'll just replace all the code, which is portion of the game versus the models. So yeah.
Okay, well, is there anything else we want to talk about, as in upcoming stuff, or like maybe just like going forward for the next couple of weeks, or?
Yeah, so I think I really would personally like to focus on adding in vehicles next. I think that's not a difficult thing and not too difficult. And then just I know, Jim, you've been working on new models and such, so getting those in on a somewhat regular-ish basis, you can do that. Then I'll tweak the code and say, hey, oh, this is too much or that. That's sort of my focus, is to get the weapon switching and vehicle, and maybe add in explosives. Those are kind of my three major issues I'd like to.
Yeah, we talked before the video about us, because this is actually probably the first time we've actually voice chatted to each other since we made our last video, which was quite a long time ago. So but we're going to commit to kind of trying to meet up every couple of weeks to just see how that workflow would be, that we'd start to slowly add models and stuff, because we don't really have a great system at the minute for adding stuff, but like once we decide settings and things like that, then we should be able to regularly update. Like as soon as I model something new, I should just be able to shoot it over to you, and then you can get it right into the game, and hopefully that happens a lot more regularly. At the minute it's kind of just like big maps and like big changes, but like it should be like smaller changes.
Right.
So that going forward, I mean, I already have like this map was sent, and because we're using like the older system, if you like, to import stuff, a lot has changed even since I sent you this file in mine. So I've textured a lot more, and there's some problems with this build that I'm already seeing that I've already updated in my version and stuff. So the good thing that now that I have this build, I can like very quickly go around and see what's wrong, and very quickly change it and then update it and send it back to you. So I mentioned just on, I think I will have to make probably a separate video just on texture and stuff, because it's just such a monster that I don't really have time to go through it now. But a few small things that I want to change very quickly is the Chinese base is now a lot more fleshed out than what's in this build. It's functional in this one, but like it's more functional in the next one, and it's textured and stuff. I want the surrounding area, I just want to, it's at the minute it's very open, and actually now that I'm on this guardrail, I need to fix the guardrail. I need to remodel that so it's like not like, it looks like twice as big as it should be. But like all of the area out round, I want to like have, at the very least, have every building have an individual model, even if it's not like perfect or finished. It's just something that's like a placeholder, so that the map just doesn't look as empty as it is right now. And also model like some of the surrounding hills and some of the green areas out around it, so it just has some like nice backgrounds and stuff like that. So they shouldn't take that long to do. Like I've spent a really long time just trying to get the Chinese building right, or not, sorry, the Chinese base. I'm getting all right. But I'm nearly finished with that, so hopefully I'll move on, and in the next weeks and months there should be updates to this.
Yeah, definitely plan on doing them a little. We'll plan on doing them a little bit more frequent. Not so
Yeah.
drawn up. And with all the stuff in place, I think now that we have everything where it mostly needs to be, importing your model should be a lot simpler. And I know we talked about going over the import process, that we're fine tune, get the pipeline worked out a bit, so it's not just a fire and gas kind of.
The one thing I really want to work out is like, see this ground texture, like it's really hard to get like a very detailed ground texture, and to actually get it with like road markings and vehicle tracks and maybe like puddles and stuff like that, like get something that looks really realistic. It's like, it'd be like by far the biggest texture in the game, and I have ideas about how I want to do it, but like I just need to like read up a lot more on how the textures work and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, some of that we could probably talk about offline too, because I think I have a pretty good idea of how to do that. As far as using
I know how to do it. Like I've done it before, but I just haven't combined it all into one texture. So yeah, that's another one of my, like, I've got like a list of things I want to do, and it's just like, it's working my way down through that list. It's probably going to take some time. Yeah, but I'll leave that for another video, because it just would eat up an entire video, I think, if we went into it. But this really was just an update to let everyone know that the project is very much still ongoing, and there should be more updates, a lot more regular updates coming soon, and this build is now available to test out for anyone that wants to play it. So please do go ahead and download it, test it out, and let us know what you think. If there's anything like really you think's badly off. I mean, a lot of things at this stage are still early, so like we already know a lot of it's kind of broken, but feel free to like give advice and keep in touch with us and make any suggestions you want. Yeah, and we'll see you guys in the next video, I guess.
All right, see ya.
All right, thanks.